Now let us start with the part 2 of the same exercise 18.1. We'll see the question number 6. That it's given here from a rectangular metal sheet of sides 14 centimeter and 21 centimeter. The largest possible circular sheet is cut off. Find the area of the remaining portion of the metal sheet. So here the figure is not given. So this is the rough figure for that. So this is a rectangular metal sheet of sides 14 centimeter and 21 centimeter. The largest possible circular sheet is cut off. So now this is the circular sheet and this is the rectangular sheet. And then this is the dimensions are given as 14 and the 21 centimeter. So we can write here diameter of this. If this is 14 means the diameter is also going to be 14 of the circle. So diameter of circle is 14 centimeter. So the radius is going to be 7.5 of the diameter. So now let us see, because we want the area of the remaining portion of the metal sheet. Now see here, this is the remaining portion of it. So later on we will see what to do. So now first thing we'll take the area of the rectangle, because we want the area of this one, the rectangle, and the area of the circle, and then we can subtract that and we can find out the remaining portion of the area of the remaining portion of the metal sheet. So here area of the rectangle, that is the length into breadth. So we know the length and the breadth. So 14 into 21, which is 294 centimeters square. So now we'll see the area of the circle. The formula for area of the circle is pi r square. So this will consider as 22/7. The r here, the radius we have taken, because the diameter is 14. This is the diameter of it. So the radius is 7. So 7 into 7, which will be 154 centimeters square. So the area of the remaining portion of the metal sheet, that is the area of the rectangle minus the area of the circle. As I told you earlier, this you have to subtract. So that is going to be 140 centimeter square. Here it's given the shape of a garden is as shown in the, this is the figure given, adjoining figure, semicircular at the ends. This is the figure, and this is the, which is given here, that this is the semicircular. These are the two semicircles, and this is a rectangle. At the ends and rectangular in the middle. Find the area and the perimeter of the garden, and the hint is given that is the length of rectangle. That is, this is very important. So that will be 250 minus 2r. So now we know that is the diameter of the semicircle. So now this is given, and this is given the whole thing. This is given as 250 meter, and this part means from here to here. This will be, this is given as 140 meter. So now what we have to see, that we have to see the diameter of the semicircle. So diameter of the semicircle means this is going to be the same. This is 140. So these are the semicircles. So this part is going to be the same as this one. So the diameter is going to be, hope this is clear. This is going to be 140. This also is going to be, this also is the diameter of this semicircle. So both is going to be 140. So the diameter of the semicircle is 140 meter. So the radius is going to be the half of it, which will be 70 meters. So once this is done, so now first let us see here the area of the semicircle. So semicircle, the area is half, because for the circle, the area is pi r square. So the semi means the half part of it. It's a half into pi r square. So this is going to be half into 22/7 into 70 into 70. So this will be, when you simplify this, we get as 7,700 meter square. So now this is the hint is given. The length of the rectangle is 250 minus 2 is r. So 250 minus 2 and r, the radius is given as 70. So 250 minus this is going to be 140, which will be 110 meter. So once this is done, now we will see the, now we got the area of this semicircle. So now we will see this triangle part. So area of the rectangle, that is the, sorry, this is the rectangle part. So area of the rectangle, that is the length into breadth. So length is given, this is as 110, what we got here. And the breadth is, or this is going to be, the breadth is going to be the same. This is same as, this is 140 here. So this breadth is going to be 140 as here. So here when we multiply this one, so we get 15400, because this is area, that will be in meter square. This was the, this is going to be, because the length is going to be in meter and the area is always going to be in square of it. So now what we want here, find the area and the perimeter of the garden. So the garden, this is the area of the area and perimeter of the garden. So now let us see the area of the garden. So area of the garden has these two semicircles plus this rectangle. So we can write here area of garden is area of two semicircles plus area of the rectangle. So we know the semicircle, we got the area of this semicircle as 7700, but we want here we have two semicircles, so it will be 2 into 7700, and we already got this one as area of the rectangle as 15400 plus 15400. So when you multiply this into this, we get 15400, and this for the area of the rectangle 15400. When you add this both, you get 30,800 meters square. So the area part is done. Now we will go for the perimeter of garden. So the perimeter of garden again has the perimeter of two semicircles plus 2 length of rectangle. See, this is the perimeter of this two semicircles plus only this, we have to consider this length of it and not the breadth of it, because perimeter means we have to just see the surrounding part of it. So hope this is clear. So the breadth is not going to get included. So we have to see perimeter of two semicircles plus twice length of this one. So the perimeter of two semicircles we have seen. So here again for the perimeter of this one, we don't have to include for this one only this semicircle, not this part. So we know this is nothing but that is for the whole circle is 2 pi r. So when you take half of it, because it is semi, that is going to be pi r. So this point is very important here. So what will you do? 2 into pi r plus this 2 into the length of this is given as that we already found out the length of this 110. So we have this two sides length. So this will be 2 into 110. This step is important. So here 2 into 22 by 7 into this, the radius is 70, plus this is going to be 220 when you multiply this. So now let us see this part after simplifying this part, because this is this one. So this will be 440, this plus 220, which will be 660 meters. So we have done with the area and the perimeter of the garden. So the next one, the following are the different shapes of the different flower beds in a garden. If all of them are to be fenced using wire and the cost of wire is rupees 70, sorry, that is only 7 per meter, you have to find the total cost of wire and which flower bed requires the longest fence, and also find the area of it. So now let us go with the first part of it. So this is we'll see the first diagram. So that is here, that is the semicircle, and the second one is this is the first one, this is the second one. So this is a triangle as well as it has a semicircle, and this is the third one. This is the rectangle and a semicircle on it. So now let us see the first part. So perimeter of the semicircle. So perimeter of the semicircle, as I told you, whenever you take the perimeter, you can have a look at the first diagram. So you have to consider this as well as this diameter as well. So what we can say, this was pi r, you know the formula for that, and plus this is the diameter means twice r, plus twice r. So now this is 22 by 7, and for the, it's given here, this whole thing is 42, means this is the diameter is given as 42 meter. So the radius is going to be, you can also write here if you want that radius will be, diameter is 42, so the meter, so the radius is going to be 21, because the half of it, that will be 21 meter. So this is 21 plus 2 into 21. So this will be, after simplifying this part, we get 66, and this is going to be, because this is the separate term and this is a separate term. So while simplifying, be careful. This will be 66 plus 42, which will be 108 meter. So the perimeter of semicircle is done. Now we will see the B part. That is the, we can also write here second, and this will be the first one. So here perimeter of the triangle. So in this we have the triangle as well as the semicircle. So you can use, if you want here 1, and this will be 2. So here the perimeter of triangle, that is 21 plus 28. So okay, can you see here? This is triangle, this is 21 and 28. We don't have to consider here because here is a semicircle. So only these two sides you have to consider. So 21 plus 28, which is going to be 49 meter. So now again we want here the triangle is done. Now we will go for the semicircle. So for this semicircle also, we don't have to include this one, only the outer part. So that is just going to be pi r. So here, this is also one important point. So here, 22/7 into this one, that is given here. This is given pi r. So the perimeter of this one, for the radius of this one, this part is given as 35, and this is included in this part in the. So this we can say when we make a half of it, that is going to be the radius, because is going to be 35 meter is going to be the diameter of it. So that is going to be 17.5. So when you simplify this one again, this is going to be, after solving this, we get 55 meter. So now they have asked which, we can first thing what we can do, perimeter of the flower bed. So this is the flower bed for this one, for the second part. So 49 plus, because you are going to combine this one. So 49 plus 55, that is going to be 104 meter. So now we will see the third one, that is for the, it's better to write here 1, 2, 3. So to avoid confusion here, this will be 2 and this is going to be 1, because we are going to look at the different figures. Now we will see for the third one. So in that one we can see that is a rectangle and a semicircle. So the perimeter of this one, we will take this perimeter of this rectangle. But here what we are going to see here, this side and this side. So this side will not be included. So we can take, this is 20 given. So this also will be 20 and this will be 21. So 20 plus 21 plus this one 20. So this is just three sides we have to consider. So this is 61 meter. And then again the perimeter of this one means we don't have to include this one, only this one, this part. So perimeter of this semicircle, that is pi r. So 27 by 22 by 7 into this r. So the radius here, this is 21. This part is 21. So this also should be 21. So the radius of this is going to be, this is going to be the diameter 21 of it. So the radius is going to be half of it. So divided by 2. So this is going to be 10.5. So be careful with this part as well. So now here, when you multiply this one, we get 33 meters. So perimeter of semicircle is done. So now we want the perimeter of the flower bed. So flower bed means the third means whole part of it. So this is one flower bed. So what we can do, we can add this plus this one. So that is going to be 94 meters. So now this is done. So now what we have to see, because the perimeter of the first, second and third. So for the first part, we got this as 108. The second we got as 104. And the third one we got this as 94. So we can write 108 plus 104 plus 94, which is going to be 306 meter. So now they have asked, because they said if all of them are to be fenced using wire, and cost of wire is rupees 7 per meter, find the total cost. So first we are going to see the cost of it. So cost of 1 meter, and here why did we take the perimeter? Again I'll tell you, because the cost is given as rupees 7 per meter, as I told earlier in my previous video. So whenever this is mean meter, so here this, whenever this one is not the square but the meter is used, or whatever the centimeter, whatever is used, you will find the perimeter. If this was per meter square, so here you could have found out the area of it. So this is again one very important point I can say. So meter square means you have to take here area, and if it is just meter, you have to take the perimeter. So this is, we got this perimeter as 306. So cost of 1 meter of wire, that is given as rupees 7. So cost of this 306 meter of wire, that will be, when you cross multiply, we get 7 into 306, which is going to be rupees 2142. Now, so this is done. They have asked what is the cost of wire, find the total cost of it. So now we will go for the main one, that is the A part. Which flower bed requires the longest fence? Now we will see the longest fence which is there. So you can see this one, this was for 1. I'm not scrolling up. This was the perimeter for 1, then second and third. So the first is 108, means this was the this longest one. So we can say semicircular flower bed requires that is the first one. That was the just semicircle of it, right? So we can say first one, or the semicircular flower bed requires the longest fence. Now they said also find the area of each. All the three figures, whatever they given, you have to find the area of that. So now we will go for the first figure, the area of this one. This is a semicircle. So now you know the area formula for the semicircle, that is half pi r square, half into 22/7, and the radius 42 is the diameter, so radius is going to be 21 into this 21. So after simplifying this, we get this as 693 meter square. So the in the second one, we'll see the area of the, there are two things. This is the triangle as well as the semicircle. So area of the triangle and the semicircle. So area of triangle is half into base into height. So the base is 21, which is given in the figure. This is 21 and this is 28. So the height is 28. So after simplifying this, we get 294 meter square area. So we will say that will be in meter square. So now the area of the, in the same figure we have the semicircle. So the area of the semicircle, so that will be, that is half pi r square, because you know the circle, this is pi r square, but this is semi, so half of it, so half into pi r square. So again this is the, so here now see here in the second figure, this is 35, so half of that is going to be 17.5 into 17.5. So again, when you simplify this, we get that is 481.25 meter square. So now what will you do? We have already found out the, in this one we had two combinations, this is the triangle and this one. So we are going to, because we want a single one, so we will add this one. So area of 2 we can say, because this is 2 question number here. So 294 plus 481.25. So 0.25. So here, now this is going to be, when you add this one, that is going to be 775.25 meter square. So now we'll go for the third figure. In that we have the rectangle as well as the semicircle. So first we'll find out the area of the rectangle. So this is a long problem, but it's very easy. You have to just go step by step. You should know the formulas thoroughly. So here area of rectangle, that is length into breadth. So that will be 21 into 20, because this length is given as 21 and this is 20. So that will be 420 meter square. And the area of the semicircle, so this has the semicircle as well. So the area of the semicircle is half pi r square. So this will be half into 22/7 into 10.5 into 10.5. So when you simplify this one again, it is going to be 173.25 meter square. So area of this third one, so which will be 420 plus 173.25, which is going to be 593.25 meter square. Because now the third B part is done, we have already found out the area of each figure. So this is the final answer. Now let us go for the next question. This is the figure given. So they said find the shaded area. This is the figure and there are two semicircles in it, again smaller ones. So we have to find this one. This is the shaded one. So it's very easy. This is given as 28 centimeter. So now area of the semicircle. So area of the semicircle, that is given as 1/2 pi r square. So now here this is 1/2, this is 22/7. And here, since this is given as 28, means this is the diameter given as 28. So the half of that, we are going to look at this, whatever we say semicircle of the larger one. If you want, you can just write here of the larger semicircle. That will be more better. You can just write here of the larger semicircle. So here, that will be half into 22/7. This is going to be 14 into 14, because the whole is 28, that is the diameter. So after simplifying with this, we got this as, that is given in centimeters, so 308 centimeter square. So now we will see for the area of two smaller, that is semicircle. So 2 into, you know the semicircle, again the formula is going to be the same, but this, because there are two semicircles in it, these are the two semicircles, so that will be pi r square. So 22/7, and this is going to be 7 into this 7. So now see why it is 7 and 7. Now see here together this diameter is 28. So here when we take the radius of it, the radius is going to be 14. But if we are taking the single one, so this is going to be the 7 and this one 7 of it. So we can just say that is 7 into 7. So because the radius of one one part that is going to be 7. This whole thing is going to be 14 for this diameter, but the one is going to be 7. So here 7 into 7. So be careful with this one as well. So here this is going to be 154 centimeter square. So now we want the area of the shaded region. So what we do? Area of the semicircle. So this is the area of the semicircle, the long one. We can also write that is what we have written, the larger one. Minus you have to take area of this two small. So we have written here a larger one. Let us write here also the larger one. That will be more better. So here minus, this minus is very important. Minus area of the two smaller, because from this one, from this big circle, we are going to subtract this 2 1. So to get this part. So this is going to getting subtracted. So this will be 308 minus 154, which will be 154 centimeter square. So now let us go for the next one. This is the figure given. 6 identical circles are cut from a rectangular piece of paper. What is the radius of each circle? And we have to find the area of the remaining paper, that is the shaded area. So this is the rectangle from this one. From this one, 6 circles. The circles are not accurate. So you can have a look at the figure. These are the 6 circle cut, and whatever the middle part remaining, that is the shaded area. That is what we have to find out. Even the diagram looks complicated, you have to just look at the explanation here. Now first thing, the rectangle. So that is given as 21, and this is given as 14 centimeter. So that is the length into breadth, which is 21 into 14, which will be 294 centimeter square. So this is done. Now we will see for the inner 6 circles. So 6 into, this is circles and not the semicircle. So for the circles, the formula is pi r square. So 6 into 22 by 7. So here what we can do here now to find out the radius of it. Now just have a look at this one. So now these are the 6 circles in it, and this whole thing is given as 21 centimeter. So what we can see here, 21 centimeter means this is when we are going to divide it into 3, which is going to be 7. So 7 is the radius of this whole part. So for this whole thing, the radius is going to be 7. So when we take means here we want the radius of this one. This is going to be 3.5. So here, see here, this is going to be, this whole thing is going to be, if we take this circle, this one, this is going to be 7. So the half of it is going to be 3.5, because one is going to be 7. Sorry, this is the diameter is 7. So here this is going to be this diameter is going to be 7, because we are going to divide it by 3. So this 21, the diameter is 7. So when we take the radius of this part, so that is going to be 3.5. So hope this part is clear. So this is going to be 3.5 into 3.5, which will be 231 centimeter square. So now once this is done, so what we have to do, we have to find the radius of each circle. So we have seen the radius of each circle, which is, as I told you now, that is 3.5 centimeter. And the B part, find the area of the remaining paper, that is the shaded one. Area of the remaining paper, that is the shaded area. So that will be what you have to do. From the rectangle, you are going to subtract that area of the 6 circles. So from 294, you are going to subtract this one, 231, which will be 63 centimeter square.